Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late March into early April 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Libra collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Libras in late March going into early April? It's Aries season, a beautiful time of year. Let's see what energies, messages, insights we could take a little peek at. And yeah, we're going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Libra in late March, early April. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this going here. What do we got for our good friends? Please. There we go. Thank you. Cool. I did see this in one of the fire signs, so it's intriguing to me that you're also getting this card because it's a rare one. It's one that I don't see often. And it reminds me a lot of the Chariot, the way the energy presents itself, because it is looking ahead, it's looking forward, and it's making moves. So I like that. It shows me that energy is working and moving. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So, beautiful piece of imagery. I love the color scheme. But we see this strong lady walking in one direction. We got that ship flying. We have this little creature in the background. They're all pushing in the same direction. And I always pay close attention to those birds. They're a mythical bird called martlets. And in the martlet mythology, they don't have legs. So they're always flying because they can never land. So you see what I mean? All this energy's flowing, it's moving, it's going, which could be a good thing for some of you, especially if you're in a time right now where it seems like not much is happening, not much is going down. This energy is like, yeah, no, the energy's working. It's doing something behind the scenes. Now, for some Libras, maybe you just have a future focused mindset. Nothing wrong with that, where it's like I'm looking ahead. I'm trying not to look behind. I'm looking forward, which could be a great thing. It's a very powerful, determined energy. The one big warning I always have about this card, though, because it's very similar to the Chariot, it's either coming or going. So maybe you got some trips planned for some of you, is that this card can sometimes burn itself out. So if you're burning the candle at both ends, if you got a lot of things that are taking a toll on your energy, Spirit might be saying like, hey, maybe slow it down for a minute. Like, you could land, right? You're not like these martlet birds. So that's intriguing to me. So just watch your energy levels in this time, especially if you're feeling a little low. But we're going to let them chill out, hopefully. Put them over there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Libras. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It did feel a little wound tight. Now, that didn't necessarily have to be energy coming from you. It could have been someone in your circle or around you. But the reading was titled They Are Nervous, and it did feel very overthinky, if that makes sense. Now, listen, I get it. Libras are very cerebral, intelligent, smart air signs. But sometimes could overthink. It's human, right? And that showed up pretty heavily last week. So just know the energy could bleed over a little bit, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So we take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the lovely Libras. What do we have in late March, early April? What's going on for our good friends? 5 of Pentacles. What is that? What is that, Libra? Okay. It's just the beginning, so this doesn't taint the whole entire reading. And again, this could be someone else's energy, but starting off with the 5 of Pentacles, it's like, oh, okay. Well, let's get a couple more. Ace of Wands, okay. Better. It's really strong when it comes into communication, and that is an energetic uptick, right? So it's like we're starting low and we're moving up. Let's get one more. Improvement. Hope. 7 of Wands. So very fiery, which is okay for a Libra reading because you could work well with fire if necessary. There's a lot of effort being put into something or wanting to be put into something. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. At first look, first glance, You know, I always like to look at the elements because I feel like it frames the reading and it tells us how the energy is flowing and how comfortable you might be with it. And as I already mentioned, we have a lot of fire and we got some earth. Now, this does fit in the theme I've been seeing a lot in the fire and air signs. It's been very much earth and fire heavy. And the thing I find intriguing about that is that fire and earth represent the outer world, whereas like cups and swords, that's your inner self, heart, and mind. This is outer world type of stuff. When it comes to fire, that represents action. So whether it's the actions we take, the actions other people take, the actions we want to take, think of passion, drive, desire, energy levels, vitality. Remember what we were saying about that first oracle card, wands, the fire, that does tie in with it. But you being an air sign, you work well with fire. Right? Like if you were an earth sign or a water sign, I'd be like, yikes, like this energy might clash a little bit. But like Libra can work with it. That's a good thing. And the downside to fire is that it can be explosive. It could be a little out of control. It could be an energy where it could take a left on you. Then we have Earth right here in the front. Usually it represents stability, security, our feelings of stability and security. Think of routine, think of day to day life, work, money, finances, abundance, investments, home, and family. So all the earthly matters right here with the Earth. So it's like we have the actions and then we have the world itself showing up here. So again, watch the things around you because there could be certain things or situations that aren't emanating from within. It's like outside noise happening. Now, the downside to earth energy, sometimes it could feel stuck. Sometimes it could feel like it's not making enough progress or things. There could be impatience there. It could also represent stubborn type of energy. So it's something we do want to keep a very close eye on. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the Five of Pentacles. This is one of the classical challenge cards. So could this be a problem or a situation that we want to pay closer attention to? Absolutely. But the Five of Pentacles, we see these people, they're out there in the middle of a blizzard, right? They're out there in the cold. And we're going to separate this in two different ways. When it comes to money and finances, watch the spending, because sometimes this energy can, there could be more money going out than coming in when this energy shows up. Again, no judgment here. You do what you got to do, my friends. Um, but the emotional aspect of this card is what really brings the warnings to me, because sometimes this could represent isolation, it could represent loneliness, it could represent missing someone or something. There could be a certain longing where you feel like something might be missing when this card shows up. So again, watch out for the isolation. uh, Worst case scenario, sometimes this could represent feeling abandoned. So we're not going to go worst case. You know, I always say when it comes to challenge cards, they're on a spectrum. It could be minor. Maybe you're just feeling a little gloomy, or maybe someone is and it's affecting your energy, because remember I was saying there's outside noise. So watch out for other people's energy spilling over onto yours. So we'll see, is that a problem or a situation? Potentially, but we'll look at it. Now moving to the middle, this could be really good, because after the Five of Pentacles, which is seen as more of a lower energy type of card, we got the Ace of Wands. Love it. Now, I always say when it comes to all aces, they represent opportunities and offers. It's fresh, it's new, it's an energy that really gets it going. Specifically, this one. All aces do tie into communication as well. So, talking, messages, all that good stuff. So, we do want to look closely at this. But the difference with the Ace of Wands compared to the other aces, this does tie heavily into effort and our overall energy levels. And that seems to be a very consistent theme this week. So if you're feeling zapped or feeling tired or feeling drained, very important to take care of yourself, spoil yourself a little bit when this card shows up. The downside with the Ace of Wands, sometimes this could represent explosive action, explosive conversations, things where it's like, whoa, where the heck did this come from? So we want to keep a close eye on it. But going from the Five of Pentacles, which is low, to this, that could be something improving and getting better. Right now, moving to the back end, I know I said when this card first came out that there's a lot of effort going into something or wanting of something. We have the Seven of Wands, and we see this person, it's like they're up on a wall and they're battling off and fending people away. Um, the good aspects, this is a card of determination. Can't stop, won't stop. When I decide on something, I follow through. I will not quit. I will not give up. I love it for that. So some of you might be in that mode and mindset where even if you are going through a little bit of a difficult time or a slow patch or a rough patch, Ace of Wands, Seven of Wands is like, I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep it going. So I like that. I love the motivation. But the Seven of Wands can also represent feeling trapped. It can represent isolation. Notice what we have here in the front. The loneliness could be a big thing where it's like me against the world. It can represent problems and situations where it's like always a battle. It's always a fight. So it's odd. It's like we have these two energies that take up a lot of energy to try to solve. And then this one seems to flow perfectly. So we have a lot of different things showing up here. But Yeah, the fire energy we need to keep a close eye on. But yeah, I want to dive deeper on all this, Libra. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's shuffle it up here. The cards are already trying to jump out of my hands. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot because, as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Five of Pentacles. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in reading and you want to give Libra a message, please feel free. You could drop it in the comments below, especially if you're a reader. I don't mind at all. But let's go in on that Five of Pentacles. Why is that here? Why is the Five of Pentacles here? Thank you. Yeah. All right. So we have the Eight of Cups. Why is this an energy that feels like I'm falling behind? Like, I don't know why it's coming through so specific, so only take it if it hits. The Eight of Cups is also an energy where it's like, if I saw a very similar thing in Sagittarius, where it's like, if I don't pay attention to it, maybe it'll go away. Out of sight, out of mind. Like, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts. Now, I think that's a good thing. You know me, I'm an optimist. I always say, hey, if you feel yourself slipping mentally, it's okay to try to, you know, keep yourself motivated and optimistic. But when I see like the Five of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, um, it feels like it's being left behind or it's left behind for some reason. Watch out for abandonment issues in this time. Again, I'm not saying it's you, it could be somebody else, but there is this overarching theme of like either longing or feeling lonely. I don't know why that's coming up. Now, the Eight of Cups is another action card. We see the person, usually it looks like they're walking away, right? And that's one of the big classical meanings. I just see it as someone taking action because they're not just leaving the Eight Cups, they're moving to the Nine. So could some Libras, could this be a problem or a situation where it's just a rough patch? Absolutely. Right? Like when I see the Five of Cups, Eight of Cups, it's like, okay, we're moving past this. The worst of it's over. So there could be a silver lining specifically for some of you that have been having a rough go of it, where it's like the worst of it's over. I think that's good, but I don't know why this energy where it feels like I'm in a race. The vision I'm getting in my mind's eye is like if I was racing several other people and they slowly start pulling ahead of me and I slowly start falling back. I don't know why that's showing up in my mind, but we're going to keep moving. I'm sure you're not falling behind. Let's go in on the Ace of Wands. It's weird. It's like a slow separation, if that makes sense. Let's go in on the Ace of Wands. Let's see what that's about. Yeah. Okay. So we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. This energy seems to like lash out, which I know that's not a favorite thing to deal with for you lovely Libras. You appreciate a balanced approach with things. This energy in the center does feel a little extreme to me, right? Because we have the Ace of Wands. Remember what I was saying about how fiery it is? Then we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse underneath it, where it's like the action and reaction don't line up for whatever reason. So again, I'm not saying it's you. It could be somebody else, where it's like maybe we had this conversation that got a little hot and heavy. The energy just seems to lash out, where like sometimes where you may have done something slightly wrong, but someone completely flips their lid. It's like one of those where the action and reaction don't line up. So this could most definitely be a warning about the explosive energy in this time, whether it's words being taken out of context or whether it's the actions and the reaction not lining up. There's this odd energy. Usually the Two of Pentacles is very, very balanced, fair, and harmonious, right? So when I see it in reverse underneath the Ace of Wands, again, either it's an explosive talk or an explosive warning in general. That energy could just increase or be a little topsy turvy. So just watch out for that. And it's like the action and reaction don't match because there is like this energy that seems to lash out. Now, specifically for another portion of you, especially if that little theme I've been seeing about like energy levels and when I see the Ace of Wands with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, it's like there needs to be some recuperating, there needs to be some resting and some healing. So we're going to keep moving forward. I mean, you don't have to tackle it all in one day, but this energy is like, just take a breath, just relax, rebuild your energy. Let's go in on the Seven of Wands. Let's see what that has. Because I don't know why I get this effort. It's like I feel like I'm falling behind. I feel like, and then this energy like tries to make up for lost time, and then we have the Seven of Wands. Again, very specific stuff here, Libra. So again, only take what's yours, right? Okay. So we got the death card in the upright. It's like fighting the change. It's like fighting against the current. All right, so we do have this very, very powerful shifting of energy going on. And yeah, it's like fighting the current. You know, when sometimes you swim or other people swim in the ocean, you're like, hey, don't fight the current. You're just going to tire yourself out. That's what I'm seeing big picture in this theme. Now, the death card, I don't want anyone to get all freaked out about it because I know it shows up in a lot of shows and movies, and people are like, oh, scary, scary, death card, scary tarot reader. That's not the case, right? Of course, it could represent endings, but when I see it, I think of transformative, phoenix rising from the ashes, change based type of energy, right? End of one chapter, opening of another. So when I see the Seven of Wands and the death card, it's like I'm fighting against this change. So for some Libras, there might be an advice here where it's like, hey, maybe just go with the flow and see where it goes, see how it goes. Like there's something here where it's like the harder you fight it, the more tired you're going to be. Just like they say with people swimming in the currents. I don't know why that's showing up. Where it's like if you're getting pulled out by a current and you're trying to fight it, you're going to get really really tired and then you're going to go under. Right? But if you just let the current take you out and you just try to float and not exert a lot of energy, then you could get rescued or swim back to shore. I don't know why that's coming through. But yeah, watch out for going against the grain, fighting too hard, exerting too much energy, especially with the explosive stuff in the middle. I know I'm getting hyper specific, so only take what hits. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. So we have some very intriguing themes this week. Again, it could be someone else's energy. If they're in this mode, it might be a little tiring for you. But position number one, we have the Five of Pentacles with the Eight of Cups in the upright. I did get that like vision of pulling back or like slow separation or someone pulling ahead of me and me falling back. It's like I'm behind. I feel like I'm behind. So watch out for situations like that or feeling abandoned. There is this like little gloominess and zapped type of energy where it just feels very low energy here. Moving to the center, we have the Ace of Wands with the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, just it's a lash out type of energy where it's like it's trying to make up for lost time or it's trying to you know, balance the scales in some kind of way where it's either doing too much or I don't know why it's tinkering the way it is. But watch out for explosive conversations, actions from other people, energy in general, where there could be miscommunications or things could just intensify quickly where it's like, well, okay, let's take a breath here. Moving to the back end, we have the Seven of Wands with the Death card in the upright. I do see this powerful energy, especially with all the fire of change wanting to come in. And to me, it feels like the more you fight it, the more difficult something's going to become. Just go with the current for whatever reason, because I see somebody trying to fight the change, fight the current, which could just be very, very exhausting. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Libra. What do we got for a good friend? Yeah, there could be some situations. It's all good, though. It's all good. Just try not to feed the fire too much. Yeah, um, I always like to pull a shadow card here at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got? Quick, very first one. And I'm not really surprised with the card that shows up, especially with this big theme we've been seeing since the beginning of the reading. We have the Knight of Wands, big fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, if you're connected to one of those. But if you're not, remember what I was saying about fire. It's the suit of action. Knights also represent action. This one is like a ball of energy, right? The Knight of Wands. It is that explosive energy that we've been seeing, or something about the energy levels. Now, the good thing about the Knight of Wands, it does the right things at the right time. It's usually very outgoing, open, and flowing. I like the Knight of Wands for that. But the shadow side of the Knight of Wands is that it could be very unpredictable. It could be very impulsive. And it can be very explosive. So in this time, watch out for impulses and again the energy levels here. If you are just feeling tired or zapped or whatever it might be, whether it's a situation or just life in general, you might need to recharge the batteries, and you would know the best way to do that for yourself. But we're just going to put that Knight of Wands down right there, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight into your situation and you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The March calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the March subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 subscribers to win either a copy of the Everyday Witches Tarot, beautiful deck, or handmade crystal pendant, which I showcase at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what zodiac signs do you get along best with? Which ones are your favorite? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.